I don't even want to talk to you right
Hello.
now. So
Why? Hello. Liam's feeling slightly awkward right now. I don't really know. I think that he needs to become more sexually liberated, to be honest. Liberated or liberated.
Stuart's sitting here in his boxers. He has got a hoodie on, but I don't think he's got a top on underneath, unless it's
I do actually.
very tight V-neck.
So, joke's on you. We're sat in the pub right now. We're
Don't
enjoying
take the hoodie
ourselves.
off. The hoodie's
What?
blocking the underwear situation.
Why? What's your beef? I don't understand what your problem is. For fuck's sake.
It's weird.
Well, I'll take my underpants off as well then, shall I?
No.
So, basically, I'm sorry, for people that know me, I do wear very tight black clothing, and sometimes, after a long day, it gets a bit tight and, warm, so I took off my trousers. I'm sat here in my underpants, and, Liam, I thought he was a heterosexual man, he's feeling awkward. Is it because of the sexual tension?
Mate.
You want me to bum you, don't you?
At the end of the
I'm
day,
not going to get bummed by anyone. If me and you were to have some sort of homosexual relationship, you would definitely be the bottom.
I would.
Yes, you would.
But anyway, aside from that, you moan so much that I say you're bisexual. Right now, he's literally doing a Ricky Gervais pose for me right now.
No, I'm not.
You are.
No, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Just so everyone understands, he's got his.
podcast.
I'm guessing Marks and Spencer socks on. He's got his little boxers on.
Still wearing my socks, by the way.
Yeah,
just
boxers.
to let you know.
He's got his tight box on there. I can definitely see his bulge, and then he's got a little vest on, the cramps vest. And it's not awkward, but the way you're sitting right now, just imagine if someone does.
I don't really understand what the beef is all about, to be honest. We're in a very, well lit pub.
Don't take your top off. Why are you taking your top off? This is weird. This isn't normal.
So I'm going to do.
Oh my god, this is weird.
So
why? Well, look. The worst thing about it, you can't see this. He's doing. Why are you stroking the dick?
Huh?
You just stroked your dick.
Well, no, I was just rearranging.
No, oh my god, I just saw balls. Put clothes on now. Put clothes on now.
Alright, I'll sit down so you can't see the bollocks. It's fine. Like, what's your problem? I don't
Because
understand.
you're still late.
Oh, Liam, how old are you now?
I'm 27.
Yeah, and you're getting giddy at the sight of a man's scrotum. I don't really understand the problem, to be honest.
I'm getting scared.
Look, but just because you're sexually excited that you're confronted with, well, I wouldn't say a half naked, I'd say a pretty much fully naked Stuart Cresswell, which, a lot of people have, invested a lot of time and money into hoping to see. But there we go.
I'll be honest, ladies, it's not that impressive.
Huh?
It wasn't that impressive.
What, my scrot?
No, the rest of you as well.
Well,
You're oddly not very hairy leg-wise either. I thought you had
Really?
hair. I thought you would have hairier legs.
I have very hairy legs.
No, they're not hairy.
What do you mean they're not hairy?
You've got like a massive ball patch there by your
Yeah, I
neck.
know. That was from a scar when I got hit by a car when I was 14 years old. So thanks for bringing that up.
It's alright. It's
well
hard
done,
not
yeah.
to bring up
So-
the stuff you've got on at the moment.
There we go. No, I've got very hairy legs.
Very
I'm going
veiny
to
legs.
take a picture of
They're
that.
really veiny.
Yeah, I'm an ideal heroin candidate.
You
What's
probably
your problem?
are. It's shocking that you've never done it, really.
Huh? Oh, I'm pretty sure I've been close to it, several points in my life, but, I feel like I've turned a leaf now, and, there we go. Other than you being highly sexually attracted to me right now and being very awkward about it, what's been going on with Liam's life? It's, I was going to ask a question, but I was going to carry on talking at the same time, so...
Usual Stuart stuff.
Well, here we go, it's not like I like the sound of my own voice, I just prefer it to others.
So I like men with clothes on, but...
You like men with clothes on?
Yeah.
So you like fully dressed men when you're having sex with
that's
them?
what I like.
So when you're getting bummed by a man, you want them fully dressed, just with their flies undone?
What I think's hilarious is that you're doing all this, and it is making me awkward. You have won, I'll be honest, this is brilliant, and you've outdone yourself massively on this. But you get annoyed whenever I mention that you could be bisexual or that you're gay. You get annoyed.
I get annoyed because, it's taken me a while to, I wouldn't say build my persona, just sort of build me as a person. So when you start going around, I wouldn't say slandering my name, but going around telling people when I'm bisexual or gay when I'm not.
The thing is, I wouldn't say I don't say the idea. They say it, and all I do is invest their theory. I help them out, because at the end of the day as well, what you got to look at, you aren't going to date all these people. And most of them are actually girls that think you're homosexual anyway. Not gays don't really actually think you are. It's quite weird. Their gaydar is on point. But you're not going to sleep with them because they're not good enough, are they? That strokes his ego, so I can literally do whatever I want for about a
Really
week.
not good enough. Of course they're not good enough. They're blokes.
See? No, women.
And
Talk about women now. There's quite a few women that think you're gay.
yeah, and you just perpetuate it, don't you?
It's only
You're
Chad.
going down a oh yeah, he's gay. Oh, but you know, if you want the big burly man dressed as a lumberjack, I'm here for you. That's what you do.
No, I don't. I
Yeah,
don't say
you
that.
do,
I say that you're bisexual, and I think it's funny. Quite often,
Like
I
a
just
bisexual.
yeah, I think it's hilarious that people think you are.
So,
Cool.
anyway, we've got the Euros coming up soon, haven't we?
Yeah.
You excited about it?
You in or out?
Huh?
You in or out?
The Euros. Well, England are in the Euros.
Yep. So Ireland. So I'm looking forward to supporting both nations.
Ireland.
Yep.
They're not in the EU.
No, but they're.
So
in the
how can they play in the Euros?
Oh,
It's amazing how many times I've been asked that question.
what? You in or out?
Basically, if we leave the EU after these European Football Championships, will we still be allowed to play in them? Have you been asked that yet?
No.
Have you not?
No.
Oh,
Well, I saw
so
the best.
only stupidity follows me,
Yeah.
and I don't really know why. So
I've had some ridiculous statements about you in or out. I can't even bother to get into it because it's so pathetic.
right, so because obviously we do try to have one rule in this to not get engrossed or engaged in political talk.
Yeah.
So we're going to say one thing, and it's basically anyone who's on the fence about being in or out or vehemently out of the EU. I'm just going to say one thing: Michael Gove is leading the campaign to leave the EU. I think after that we can leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a man who has fundamentally failed as a politician is now leaving the out campaign. Right, we're sorted.
Yeah. But back to football's coming on.
Football! So, Jeff Hurst said this evening... we can't talk about football, I just realised.
Right.
So, you know our number one fan...
Becca Brady.
Yeah, Becca Brady. Hello, Becca Brady. She said after the last couple of podcasts that she did struggle because we talked about a sport, or just sport in general, a little bit too much. So we're going to have to steer clear of that.
I will not talk about sport but she does realise that the Euros are coming up. I pretty much going to take over my life for the next month.
I do remember talking to you during the qualification stages about your theories about the whole sort of England team and whatnot, and you said that I don't like international football, it's boring.
I like Euros. I like World Cups. I don't like watching England. I'll be watching every game. I won't just be watching England. Yeah. I watched England-Portugal the other day. Sorry, Becca, again. But it was fucking boring. England football just bores me. Roy Hodgson football bores me. But I'm more looking forward to, like, Ireland. In also ways as well, like, narrow-minded fascists will like this comment. It brings the nation together. And that is actually what is quite cool. Is every 4 or 2 years we... As a nation, we come together. The Olympics are there as well, so we might... I don't know if it's going to be as good as 2012, because it was in England, but we might come together again for that. A bit of patriotism, not racism.
Oh, there's a difficult line because, I'm of the belief that it is generally pot luck where we are born, so we shouldn't really get too caught up in... the whole patriotic side of things, but at the end of the day, I do enjoy Test match cricket, and that is international. But I like cricket in terms of, say, England are playing Sri Lanka, and England are absolutely smashing Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I would want Sri Lanka to do really well, so that I can watch more cricket rather than, England beating whoever.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, when it comes to football, it's just 90 minutes and that's it, and who gives a fuck, really, to be honest, just a bunch of idiots kicking a ball around. So, let's move on to cricket, and then let's move beyond that. Socially...
Yeah. I feel that your first question was, what have I been up to?
What have you been up to, Liam? You big bastard.
Nothing really working. Bought a couple of trainers.
Well, yes, Liam's bought...
I found eBay.
He's wearing a different pair of trainers tonight, but he's
again.
bought the most fluorescent pair of trainers I've ever seen. The only way I can describe these trainers is if an 8-year-old was given an unlimited amount of Mars bars and had to design a pair of trainers at the same
Well,
time.
the only thing they're missing is Heelys and a whistle. But the worst thing is, because it's like, you know me quite well, I'm a quite simple colour guy. I like plain colours, and they're bright. And it shocks me even though I like them.
They are endearing to a certain
Yeah.
extent. Yes, they are.
But it's quite funny because like I won't say false, but basically, so the other night I was in a car with someone, and then we were trying to find something, and I went, well, I would get out and walk.
You're in a car with someone and you're trying to
no,
find something.
I'm being
Brilliant.
vague on purpose.
This is our generation's Wordsworth, by the way. So keep strapped in, kids.
I'm trying to.
It's
be
going to
vague.
get better. I hope.
I'm being vague on purpose. And then I was like, but we didn't want to be seen by someone because we were trying to do a prank. And this is why I can't say it on the thing. And then I went, well, I would get out, but I think everyone's going to be able to see me with these trainers. So even in pitch blackness, I think I might need to stay in the car.
I get worried that I don't know that you feel or you think that little of someone or people in general that they're not going to see you.
I'm pretty. Wait, I'm not like Tyrone from Snatch. I'm inconspicuous, mate.
I'm not saying that you're not, speedy or anything like that.
I'm
But
agile.
I'm
like a fox, mate.
You are a large gentleman.
Yeah, but I'm like a fox. Foxes are large, and you can't even see them.
Foxes aren't large. I once saw a fox. Right, so like at a park, you've got like railing fence like that, and like there's a really little gap in there.
Yeah.
Like a human can fit through that. Right. I was walking down the street earlier. I was actually on the way to Liam Lonergan, very dear friend of mine. He's a stand-up comic, very good. We were walking through South London, and walked down the street. And, there's a park on the side with these railings that I just spoke about. Fox running along, didn't even stop to even estimate about these railings. Just carried on running straight through the railings, kept going.
That's what I'm like.
Amazing.
That's what I'm like.
Incredible.
That's what I'm like.
That's not your like. You wouldn't fit through those railings.
Oh, mate, I would.
And also,
I'll tear them down.
No, even right. So if we're going to put this into sort of context that proportionally, if the railings were big enough to fit a human through, I reckon if you were sprinting, you would still stop for a moment to jump through the railings.
No, because I wouldn't even jump. I'd slide.
No. You're. I reckon you'll just run into them and hope for the best that you broke them down.
I don't even think you can run.
Huh? I'm an excellent runner.
I always imagine your arms and legs. You remember in Friends when Phoebe starts running? I imagine you're like that.
No, I'm not really like that. I mean, at school I was in the relay team.
Oh yeah.
And I was also in the 100.
Is this short hair, Stu? I feel like they're two different people, short and long hair, Stu.
Not really. I mean, my hair was kind of moppish at school.
Yeah.
You know when you discover Nirvana for the first time and you want to rebel.
I was 6 when I discovered Nirvana.
So you grow your hair slightly long. And all that sort of stuff. No, you didn't do that. Oh, I listen to Nirvana, but I'm straight laced at the same time. Yeah. But, oh God, you're like the bloke at karaoke who turns up and sings Wonderwall and thinks he's the most alternative man in the whole world, but he's still wearing his suit from work 4 hours ago, and he's going to have to go back into the office at 9 o'clock in the morning working finance.
Yeah. But we both know I'm not like that, and the truth of the matter is that, unlike you, I don't have to conform to a certain look. Oh, I'm alternative, I must look like this, I must paint my nails, I must... Do you know what I mean? I choose.
It's never actually gone through in my head that I must do this and must do that. I just do it.
I wear what I want, and do you know what? I listen to what I want.
I wear what I want, and I listen to what I want.
And I think I've wore a suit 4 times in my life, and I don't plan to ever wear one.
What? What's wrong with wearing a suit?
I fucking hate them.
What about all those people that wear a suit?
I think they're mugs.
Why are they mugs? They're not mugs.
They work in the city. They're working for the man.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! I'm not.
Started.
Do you know what? I'm not going to delve into that because people do whatever they want to do, whatever makes them comfortable. For me, that's not comfortable, so that's fine. But I'm not going to judge them. You have just judged them.
That's what I do. I moan and judge.
You're a moany, judgy bastard, aren't you?
Yep. Sums me up greatly.
Yeah.
That likes trainers and has found eBay.
What else was I going to talk about? Oh, I did bring it up in social media well, whenever this goes out, so I suppose the other day. And I suppose it does hark back to sport to a certain extent. So, Ms. Brady, I do apologise once again. But this thing called Soccerade,
I like it.
do you actually like?
Yeah, I do. I'm actually going to defend this. I'll let you say your
Right.
points, then let me say my
Right.
points.
So my whole problem with Soccerade is, right. I'm going to start off, and I'm going to try and justify it to start with. But the only justification that I can possibly think of, that if you take something out of context,
Yeah.
initially it's going to be interesting or funny.
Yeah.
So, a stand-up comedian kicking a football, you know, to start with, is interesting or funny. Or, as I said before, a salmon on a mountain bike is incredible. But Robbie Williams trying to find any excuse to have a kickabout with a bunch of his mates at Old Trafford isn't justifiable in my head. That's
Yeah,
just
for
him
charity.
taking the piss.
It goes to charity.
Oh,
And
Robbie Williams is rich enough that I'm sure if he just went around to everyone and went, collecting some money from Africans, can you help us out here a little bit,
Yeah,
please?
but
I'm sure he could
the thing is, though,
he
that-
could still raise the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So don't try. It's an absolute farce, and I don't really understand why we're televising and perpetuating this need for Robbie Williams to want to play
Right.
professional
What
football
you're- what
when he's
you're-
not.
what you're
He
looking-
really isn't.
well, you're looking at it in such a-
Also, the games are fucking rubbish. They're awful.
Obviously, you didn't watch Ronaldinho.
Huh? What,
This
Ronaldinho?
is- but this is
keep missing the goal. Yeah, well done, Ronaldinho. Keep missing the goal.
see, this
well
is-
done, you.
this is
And
where you're-
it's just boring. There's
Right.
no right.
gotta
There's no
let someone else have
intensity.
an
There's no
opinion.
intensity. They're out of shape.
Yeah.
So there's
Right.
no speed in the game.
If-
And there's nothing
right,
going
so
on.
Now let me say, yeah? It's not about intensity, yeah? Yeah, this is where you're wrong. It's a friendly match. It's a laugh. And it is that. And I'm not going to deny
So
that.
why have we got to watch someone
But
have a laugh?
Let me...
So
Because...
right, if you're
Right.
down the local park, right, and are you going to watch a bunch of mates that you don't know?
I've done it.
Kick a ball
I've done
about.
it before. I manage Sunday League and we get loads of people just come watch sometimes. You
Right.
do get it. There's intensity in that game though. But what I'm saying is, well, you got to look at it. Yeah, right. So you can ignore the charity aspect if you want, but that's why it's there. Yeah. No, but that's why the match is set on. So you have to agree with that fact. It's there for that. Yeah. Now for it being televised, yeah, don't watch it if you don't want. Sure. But the
No,
match-
it was on in
yeah,
the pub
I know.
while I was
But
working.
the thing is, like, the reason why people watch it, and I saw a bit of it, I didn't watch it all, is because it's amazing for one seeing old players like Ronaldinho play and David Seaman played. Like, and then it's like there was a moment where Ronaldinho nutmegged Phil Neville and then Ben Shepherd. And yeah, okay, it's Ben Shepherd. But he still nutmegged Phil Neville and he's still got it. It's like, oh, that's a bit of class. Do you know what I mean? Paddy McGuinness tackled Ronaldinho. It's just a bit of fun and a cheerful way, and it's better than, no offence, Bob Geldof or someone else going on TV going, give me your money. Because, do you know what? If you don't believe in a charity, it's like anything, you're not going to give to it. I don't give to charities I don't believe in. I won't give to a charity that doesn't directly affect me or affect someone I care about. Now, stuff like this is a lot more endearing to someone, and the difference is you're looking at it from a point of view of, right, so if we think, oh, charity, or it's just a kickback, but you've got to look at the people that did watch that, and I know quite a few people that did watch it, yeah, they probably will donate. And I prefer watching that football match than watching Comic Relief, which is stale. It used to be, when I was a kid, it seemed quite cool, it seemed quite good, and now it's like, oh yeah, we're going to do an EastEnders little special, oh, there's a couple of people dancing.
So how is the
And-
build up to this Soccerade, which is what, in its probably 5th or 6th year? And before that, it was Gordon Ramsay going around doing the exact same thing, who, you know, couldn't play professional football anymore because he had a bad knee injury or whatever. How is that not stale? And me watching Brian Connolly and Stuart Pearce
this is-
doing really
but you gotta
generic
take-
jokes
but the
about,
fact of the
you know,
matter is you gotta-
burning an England shirt with an iron. How is that?
You've got to cater,
how is that not
you've got to cater
tired?
for everyone. You've got to cater for everyone. You can't just
But
have...
Comic Relief is catering for everyone.
But Comic Relief isn't catering for everyone. Comic Relief is catering for what we would say the pop masses, yeah, like music. Yeah, they're the people that are going to buy Little Mix. They're going to buy Girls Aloud, yeah. But for me to watch that, I'd need to be forced, like you were forced to watch the soccer. thing because you're at work. Now, Band Aid, yeah? Or Live Aid, yeah? Now, quite a few people wouldn't pay attention to that if they're not into music or if it's not their type of music. Oh, he's there, oh, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Now, people, sadly, and I know it gives you great depression as you do like the game, but you don't like, I'd say, the politics more than anything and the aroma around it and the atmosphere it creates into life. But football, mainly in this country, is probably top three things in everyone's mind.
What?
And that's true, and it's not. And I understand how you feel, and I get what you feel because you do like the game. You don't like certain aspects of the game. There's certain aspects of the game that I don't like. It's the same as I would say. There's a lot of things in life I like, but I don't like that bit of it. But sadly, annoyingly, in this world, we have to cater to the masses, and the masses do want a charity football game with a bunch of celebrities.
Some geezer of One Direction who had trials for Leighton Orient once, kicking a football against Ronaldinho. I think it's ridiculous. It's not that I dislike certain aspects of football. The way that I describe football is that I find it enjoyable to watch, but I have absolutely no respect whatsoever for the game. It is awful. It is actually disgusting. But
that's the politics of it. That can't be the actual game itself. That's not too.
It's disgusting.
And that's not a bunch of.
It's absolutely disgusting.
You can't say that's. Are you saying the politics of how football is run, or are you talking about 12 or 22 friends of 22 people down the park playing football and saying that's disgusting?
I think the only footballer that I can actually respect is Mathieu Flamini. Because he's trying to save the planet. But
what about Didier Drogba? He stopped 2 civil wars in Ivory Coast and he's set up a whole entire foundation to survive it, giving medical care and schools to the whole of Ivory Coast.
Well, he sounds like a nice chap.
But you're
goes down a bit easily in the penny area though, doesn't he?
You're saying that you don't like the politics of it, yeah? Which is fine, that's understandable. Because I don't.
Politics, no
but it is the politics. Because you respect the game, you're not respecting the business side of it.
No, I don't respect the game. It's enjoyable to watch to a certain extent. In a sort of, when you go to a pantomime and you know that you're going to be entertained, but at the same time you're going to have an empty feeling at the end of it. It's kind of like that.
I think
it's kind of like
But then,
like who's that bloke that won I'm a Celebrity, who's famous for doing pantomimes?
Christopher Biggins.
Christopher Biggins, that's the one. I can't stand that man, to be honest. But I'm sure in a pantomime it'll be mildly enjoyable. But other than that, I can't stand the bloke. It's kind of like that, really.
But you have to understand that it's, sadly for your life, football's the biggest. Unless you're going to move to India, South Africa, Australia, cricket isn't going to take over. And I don't even think it's a rivalry.
I'd choose India. No, it's not me trying to.
And I don't
it's not.
No, I don't.
No, hang on. We've gone far too deep here, because essentially,
if it was a cricket, all right. So just let me put a premise to you, yeah.
A charity cricket match.
Yeah.
No, because they tried doing that a couple of years ago, and it was a shit game as well. So I'm glad that they. Is
it the level?
I just like the corporate side to just donate money, so I don't have to watch Robbie Williams try his hardest to do a throw in. I'm sorry, Becca. We've actually got really carried away here, but here we go.
No, I think we're not. I don't even think we're talking about football. I think we're there's an aspect of football about it. I think we're talking about what the masses want is what they get. Like, I don't particularly want 10 Kardashian shows on TV, but guess what? 200 million little kids fucking do.
Yeah, but
and if you don't
she's
like
really hot and she's dating. I'm not going to call him a rapper. I'm going to call him a
genius.
A souped-up pop star.
He's a rapper.
Well, he was a genius when he produced half a Blueprint. Other than that,
He was genius. Okay, I'm not even going to get into this. I'm not gonna defend Kanye. But if we look at it, like, at the end of the day, and we've said it before, and I've said it about a lot of stuff. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I know yesterday you were in a predicament because you're at work, yeah. But there's 100 times. There's programs I don't want to watch that take. I've never seen Downton Abbey. Doesn't interest me at all. British Bake Off. I've seen 2 episodes that I was forced to watch by my mum, and I thought it was the most pile of wank ever. I can't understand how anyone can ever watch it. But this is the thing. People do watch that. That's what they're watching. Yeah. Just because me and you don't, and I wouldn't. Before anyone thinks it's trying to be cool or it's kind of correct, because I don't think it's that. It's genuinely my taste isn't that. I'd
Would
prefer
you
to
call
watch
it
something else.
consumerism, or would you call it people having fuck all else to do with their lives, so they just sit down
Oh,
and
it
watch
is-
TV at the end of the night?
But it
I
is
mean,
consumerism. It's the same. It's
I've been in situations before where, you know, I've been sat down to watch, you know, programs like The Real Housewives of Cheshire, and
which you love, by the way.
I mean, I like it because it's literally human bear baiting. I mean, these people, like the only way is Essex, like the pub that we work at, the Swan. Fern McCann tried getting in last night, and Pat, our landlord, God bless him, and Fran, who was also on the door, said she wasn't allowed in, and she said, "You're going to really regret this because the publicity and the amount of money that we're going to spend here, blah blah blah." And you think it's absolutely disgusting. I mean, your celebrity in quotation marks has come from nothing, and you've gone to. I wouldn't even say into the stratosphere. You've gone onto a minor sort of verge of nothingness, and it's all going to slip away again. So, I mean, what winds me up is, do people watch this out of boredom, or, you know, do they enjoy it because it's a sort of social engagement? And there are arguments in it because the producers want there to be arguments, and they're sort of putting themselves into that situation. So, say we're at work and someone winds you up and you can't directly confront them, so you watch this and go, "Oh, I wish I said that to that person, but I can't." It's one of those horrible situations. And it's so horribly vacuous. I mean, I was watching The Real Housewives of Cheshire, and I was imagine if they did, you know, The Real Housewives of Ken Loach. And, you know, it's sort of them having arguments and eating a cheese sandwich and then going down to the job centre and then throwing their cheese sandwiches at the job centre. Like, it's just sort of horrible things like that. And, you know, there would be some sort of poignant social commentary, but there's not. It's just some stupid fucking mong in a mansion doing fuck all with their life.
I want everyone to understand two comments that I'm about to make. One, Stuart, and don't get offended because I'm not mugging you off now. Stuart is the most pretentious human being in the world, but what you need to understand, this is still the first comment, he really doesn't mean to be. Because this is just actually who he is.
I'm not pretentious, I'm just better than everyone.
No, because there's a lot of people in this world that are pretentious on purpose. We all know him, we've all met him. But with Stuart, he genuinely does think like that. That's his opinion on these shows. Do you want to know why people watch these shows? Because they're on and they don't think about it. It's the same as why
they need to think.
But
Why?
it's the reason why they buy the Sun every day, even though it's the worst paper out there.
The Beano.
Yeah, literally, it's just real. It's the same reason why they come into the pub and they drink Foster's or Stella or
Why don't they
Carlsberg.
think?
Because these are the things that we are taught from a young age is what the masses do. It's the same as they buy the latest pop act. They buy. Do you know what I mean? They watch everything. What we're told is a great program to watch. Oh, you got to watch that. And yes, we live in a world now where everyone can have their own opinion. But guess what? Your opinion is never going to matter because you're not a consumer and you're not a mass.
But by calling me pretend, can you come up with a new word? I want you to invent a new word for the next podcast.
Okay.
Because I know where you're coming from with the whole pretentious thing.
People think, but this
I
thing, I know
that.
you, so I understand that your brain just works very differently to the rest of the world. I can tap into that brain mindset. I would say my brain does, but I've literally been brought up as a common man. So my brain can go into both. I can say I'm a bit 50-50 both. I'd say you're 90% should have been born. You should have been born in the Victorian era. And you would have
I should be a duke.
Yeah.
No, but
and the thing is though,
I can get on with everyone as well.
You can get.
Why do I feel like this is a character victimisation?
Why are you playing with your Willy?
I wasn't. I was just. I was sorting it out.
But like, you can get on with everyone. And I'm the first one to say I've seen it happen. I've seen people that think that you're a fucking bellend, a pretentious prick, all this stuff, and then get to know you and realise, oh, he's on the level. It's just his brain works completely different to everyone else. It's the same as you know, and you do it. You dig at me for it as a joke, but when I wind someone up, or if I'm joking with someone, some people would say purposely trying to upset them, it's not for anyone's amusement other than my own. But a lot of people will always assume I'm showing off. But realistically, if I'm calling someone a twat and prodding them for 2 hours, it's because in my head I'm going, this is fucking epic. It's not because you're going, it's epic. I couldn't give a fuck if you laugh. If you laugh, that's a little bonus to my ego. But realism is I'm sitting there going, I'm going to make this guy crack. He's genuinely going to go mental with me. And then, the worst thing is, especially when it happens to you, who I do it a lot to, then my other half of my brain, that I would say the nice Liam goes, you you've just made one of your best friends really annoyed for no reason other than your own selfish gain, and because you want to be, you wanted to make yourself laugh because you're bored, and then I go into, as you've seen many times with me and you, oh, I'm sorry, but these are the things. These are character flaws or character pluses, whatever you want to look at it like. Your brain works completely different. That's why you will never understand anything like Socrates, because your brain goes, why don't they just all? And I agree with you.
Why don't they all club together?
Yeah.
They could still raise 5 million easily.
But I don't want to do that.
Because they want to have a kick around Old Trafford. So you're playing.
The same.
I would also like to say that Liam, when he was saying about when he upsets me, he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." He has offered me a blowjob in the past, but me sat here in my underpants and I was topless at one point, only wearing underpants and socks. Didn't even give an inkling to wanting to give me a blowjob. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, to be honest. I need to just be more aloof.
You need to be more upset. I like them when they cry. What are you doing? Why are you showing me your bum? This is so weird. We just had one of the deepest chats anyone's ever probably had about, and realistically, on a pathetic point.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to show me bum.
I just, otherwise, because
I've realised.
If we end it.
I've realised how you get ladies. I went all artsy and I was being a bit like judgy and pretentious and actually a bit, or using long words and trying to be smart, and I just got shown arse. Actually, if there was women here, I'd be having an orgy, wouldn't I?
I don't know.
I've just got to be a bit more silent now as well. Do the stew. I called it the stew.
It was more the fact that you went, I'll use long words and be a bit smart.
We're back to
you sort of lost it a bit there.
I'm back to it.
I wouldn't say pretentious, I'd just say, correctional stew, which sounds like a fantastic prison.
I'm not even joking. I said to someone the other day, they said something and it was completely wrong, and I was talking to someone about it and I went, I don't know how they can never be friends with Stuart, because you correct me probably about 9 times a day. That person, if he's saying mistakes like that consistently I imagine he would go, hi, how, and you'll be like, I think you'll find that this is...
I'm even when it comes to like graffiti, I still get wound up by the sort of grammatical inconsistencies.
What was it? I think we did talk about those texts and they just annoyed you. But what? There's other stuff that generally I've never seen someone get so annoyed by, like someone's.
The thing that sort of winds me up is that you sort of go through your life and it's not just that. It's sort of what were all these people doing in English at secondary school? I wouldn't say I was the most model student in the whole world. I mean, I just got incredibly bored at school. I don't know if it was a sort of lack of intelligence or too much intelligence, but I got so fed up. But even the sort of basic constraints of the English language I could pick up, so I get really wound up when people can't do it. Yeah, I know when there's certain issues involved with that, then that's fine, but everyday life, I think it just helps everyone.
But again, we'll get back to, and not trying to psychoanalyse you while you're in your underwear, but your brain works differently, and that's what it is, because the masses don't care about spelling. Obviously I'm dyslexic, it's a little bit different, but I couldn't give a rat's ass how I spell. And I know that pains you. I just heard you actually half like that really upset your soul. Like I just got and killed your mum. But what you have to understand is that we live in a society where, why are you showing me a nipple when I'm trying to be serious? Such a little weirdo, it's unbelievable.
No, we live in a society, go on.
We live in a society where those things don't matter, but the Kardashians do. You ask kids now who the Kardashians are, they can name every single one of them. And then you ask them to name 2 members of House of Parliament, they probably can't even name David Cameron.
Do you reckon that Kim Kardashian could pick out a complex sentence out of 3 different sentences?
She's got to be intelligent for what she's done with her life.
Yeah, I know.
She gave Ray J a blozzer and rode his dick, and now she's probably the most famous person in the whole entire world. And really, her only skill is being rich.
I'm being a pedant with that, and I am sort of playing devil.
I would love to know what her dad thinks of it all.
What, a dead dad?
Rob
Kardashian. Or the dead dads?
Rob Kardashian, her dad.
Who's
OJ,
Simpson,
yeah.
Didn't he? God, that's weird, isn't it?
Because she doesn't actually have a stepdad anymore. It's a stepmom. She has a stepmom, remember?
Yes, right, okay, that makes sense now. I suppose when it comes to the Kardashians is that I want to sort of put this really pointedly because we are sort of running out of time, and it has been quite a sort of serious, sort of discussion, I guess. So when it comes to the Kardashians and that sort of consumerism and blah blah blah, I think the only way you can describe them is absolute cunts, but spelt with a K.
That's quite good.
So
But
thank you for listening.
yeah.
I'm joking. Sorry, what were you going to say?
But you're saying they're a cunt because you don't like them, yeah?
No, it's not. I don't know.
I don't think they're cunts. I think they're
Nah, they're just
perceived,
doing what they
they're
wanna do,
perceived
really.
as cunts, and it's like anything like that. There's a difference, yeah. We've had people from Towie in here and other stuff like that. They are cunts, yeah. There's a difference, but there's a lot of celebrities that do massive amounts of charity work that come across as cunts, and then there's other people that come across as cunts because it's pure blind jealousy. Like the world hates Justin Bieber because they want to be Justin Bieber.
I love Justin
Yeah.
Bieber so much.
Yeah, and the reason I don't like any of his songs. I actually the last one was quite catchy, but I don't like any of his songs. But do you know what? The reason why I like him is because he's a 20-odd-year-old kid, let alone even that, and he literally everyone thinks he's a cunt because he does the things because he's the biggest.
Oh, if I was that
he's the
talented and I had that amount of money,
I'd be
three
200
times.
I'd be 200 times.
Fucking mental. Oh, I'd love to be
Mate,
that
I'd
man.
be paying. I'd literally, and that's the thing. I can be truthfully honest. Like even if I was on Tabby, say Tabby walked in now and went, "You in the underwear and you in the check shirt. We need you. We want you on the show." Yeah. Within a fucking year, I'd be a bigger cunt than Gemma Collins ever could be, and I would be because I'd come in everywhere and I'd demand everything. And she's apparently like I've heard some horrible stories about her, but at the end of the day, that's the attitude of the person. Where then you've got people like. Who is it? Chris Evans, who's Captain America, and he goes round goes round hospitals as Captain America. Do you know what I mean? And dresses up and plays with the kids that are about to die. Like Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds showed a kid a movie that was about to die with cancer 4 weeks before the movie. J.J. Abrams did that with Star Wars. Do you know what I mean? The guy wanted to watch it all his life and he was about to die and showed him. So for every positive there's a thing, but there's even people, but then there's...
But
there's good people.
I think with things like that, that is absolutely fantastic because that is people that have earned the right to be where they are. So they're allowed to do things like that. When it comes to people like Fern McCann or Sam Fairs or Billy Fairs or any of those cunts off Towie, the one that I apparently look like, they are only looking after number one. How long can they stay famous for? So they're not looking at the bigger picture, are they? Because they haven't earned the right to be there, other than some idiot pointing a camera in their face.
But you have to look at it. Why should we, as much as society, like as artists or whatever you want to call ourselves, or people that look at the wider aspects of life and like the finer arts and stuff like that, and like. Our music to mean something, our movies to mean something, our comedy to mean something, everything like that to mean something. Yeah? Even for me, like my footballers to mean something. I love a bit of flair. Do you know what I mean? I love a bit of attitude. Yeah. But why should we also knock them for having the opportunity that they've had and to ride that success? Because the truth of the matter is, as much as they are cunts, there's also talented people that do great amounts of charity work, and we may not know about their charity work. They're cunts. I'm sorry, Chris, what's his name from Coldplay? Massive bellend. Gwyneth Paltrow, massive bellend. Bono, massive bellend. And look at what they do for the world. They do a lot of great for the world. But we will always think they're bellends. Now,
but there's some cultural aspect there.
But I know they've got the talent, yeah. But you can't honestly also deny just because people are twats and you don't think they should deserve that opportunity because we don't live in that world. Sadly, the people like Woody Allen is never going to be put in the same respect as the cast of Towie.
A fucking genius,
yeah,
by the way.
But he's never going to be.
Fucking hero.
He's never going to be. As Jack Kerouac's one of my idols. But guess what? No one's going to read him. But I bet you'd have read all three Katy Price books. This is the world we live in, though. Just because, as much as we wish that we didn't live in this world, consumerism or whatever you want to call it, the mainstream world, that's what people care about, and we're never going to be able to. And the thing is, every couple of years they're going to tap into it, yeah, and they're going to, do you like this? It's like comic books now. You've known me about 10 years now over that. You know I love comic books, yeah. Do you know how many people I know that have seen every Marvel movie, every DC movie, talk to me like they know the stuff, and then you try and mention a comic book, and I'm like, I don't watch that kid shit. I don't watch
Yeah.
that kid stuff. And this is the thing, like it's to make money. Everything's to make money, and this is what we live in. And I can't, as much as it disdains me, and I hate it, and it drives me mental that these people have got 200 shops in my high street, and Northerners come and see them, and everything like that, and all those other programs that are just like it, the Kardashians. But I can't knock it because well done to them. Because do you know what? Maybe it's like a bank job.
I know, I get that. It's going to ride the wave and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So when it comes to someone like Kate Price, I'm like, okay, fair enough. You clearly got a talent here, and that's absolutely fine. But when it comes to someone pointing a camera at two people having a conversation, that should be involved. So basically, what I'm taking from what you're saying is we need to read Jack Kerouac, watch Woody Allen films, and burn down Brentwood High Street. That's all I'm taking from this. Because I understand this consumerist society, but why should it be based upon that? It doesn't make sense in the slightest.
We are the outcasts. We're not the norm. Yeah. Right.
But
so,
how?
Right. So you look at it. Yeah. What in your spare time? Yeah. You like doing what you like doing. Yeah. That isn't what everyone wants to do, and that even comes back to football aspect. Yeah. Your chosen sport isn't football. Yeah. Now. Luckily we don't live in North Korea where you're not allowed to like what you don't want to like, do you know what I mean? But we don't like things that aren't, and some things we do like, that are very popular and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? Like I've seen, in my lifetime, look at it, four influxes of cultures I like, or things I like, being taken over by the masses, yeah? For a brief period, and it's left. Grew up a Chelsea fan, was the only Chelsea fan in Brentwood, yeah? Only kid of my football team wearing Chelsea shirts a week. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world now because we've got millions of money, and every kid, I see hundreds of kids, and they know nothing. Do you know what I mean? They brought into it in 2004, and they are those fickle fans, yeah? I've had to part with that, yeah? But that's because it's in the mainstream. Comic books, same thing, mainstream. Hip-hop, about 2000 and fucking, when was it? It must have been about 2004. Grime and hip hop just went mental, and everyone was listening to Ja Rule.
Yeah,
and I was
basically
going
what
mental,
happened.
going, "How are you listening to Ja Rule when you've got greats you can listen to?"
Well, what happened was hip hop. Hip hop was something that was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And then Lil Wayne came along, ruined it for everyone, and now it's just this shit
He
piece
was
of
killed
thing.
before Lil Wayne, and there's still great artists out there, but people don't know about it because, as I said to you the other day, I said to someone, I think it was you, it really makes me funny when people say, "Oh, I was talking to someone about Macklemore and his new album and he's a great artist, I love Macklemore, and he's got white privilege, and I was telling Fran about it, and it's basically, it's about him going to these Black Lives Matter marches in America, and he's like, I love this culture, I believe in Black Lives Matter, I think we're all equal, but can I say it? And he doesn't say it, and then people are coming up to him, like white people, going, your hip-hop's the only one I let them listen to because it's positive, yeah? But sadly, we live in a world where there is millions of positive rappers in the world, or groups, but they're not on MTV, or MTV don't even do music anymore, they do Kardashians. But they're not on the radio, it's not dissing 50 Cent, but gangster rap, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're telling a story, aren't they? Because, I mean...
But there's story to it, and then you've got the...
You look at Jay-Z and 50 Cent, they had to deal crack before they could actually do shit. So they're just telling a story.
But the thing is, there's a difference. Like, you listen to 50's first two albums, they're masterpieces. I'm not actually denying that. You listen to it now, and it's like, Want a Baby by Me, repeated 12 times because it's a catchy lyric and it's going to sell. Now, this is the difference. Like, there's that rappers
I've heard that he's pretty bored of using technology as well. Yeah.
But there's rappers that have stayed underground and will always be positive. Like Karis One, grew up negative. Boogie Down Productions was a horror. Like they would literally talk about gangster stuff, and then he changed his whole out. Common, Mos Def, both two famous. Tony Colleen, they're three most famous rappers of probably all time, and the positive attitude is fully in them. Like Guru, no one even knows about. He's one of the most dopest rappers ever, and then not even talk about rap, but then you remember when we were 17, 18, everyone was listening to alternative music. NME was the biggest thing ever, and they were listening to these pop produced NME, like fucking Kooks and stuff like that, indie bands that were watered down shit, and the only one that's really lasted the test of time is Arctic Monkeys, because they were the only ones that were actually talented. Yeah, and now it's dance music. That's not my thing, but mate, realistically, all these dance acts that people talk about, you talk to anyone that actually listens to dance music, they're like, that's not dance, that's pop. these are the things where they're always going to take from our thing, and in about 3 years' time, he'll go back to hip hop and he'll go to R&B, and it's a circle, and then he'll go to bubblegum pop again, and and these are the things with even movies.
Bubblegum pop tastes soundy or sounds tasty.
But these are the things that will always happen, and me and you will always be not counterculture, but the only plus we've got is that we don't choose to. We're not sitting there going, I want to be like that, which millions of people fucking do. It's just what we like.
I've always struggled with the perception that a lot of people, I suppose it's kind of, I don't know if it's a dying thing now, I think it sort of is, but you know the kind of people that, I don't think I do it because I just, wear the clothes I want because I think, fuck it, this is what I want to do. There's certain people that will sort of dress similar to me but have a chip on their shoulder about how they're being perceived in society. And they get wound up, so they'll go into McDonald's with a bunch of school children there and they'll get, upset with the fact that they think they're being stared at. And I struggle with sort of things like that. That's what I struggle with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes complete sense, but the truth is that they also want that reaction. That's the big difference.
I suppose it just
there's a positive reaction.
Itself,
there's
really,
a positive reaction of the way you look, and there's a negative reaction to the way you look. The truth is, yeah, you do want people to comment on your hair, but you want them to comment and say, "Oh, Stu's got lovely long locks." Do you know what I mean? And that's the truth. As much as you're growing because you can't bother to cut it, but it's also because you do want to have long hair. You do want people to notice it. It's the same as I want people to notice my new trainers. Do you know what I mean? I bought them for a reason, yeah, but I also don't particularly care if they don't like it. Where there's people that buy stuff and will try and dress it in a certain way, and if people don't like it, they're like, oh. I know people that would have spent the same amount of money as I spent on those fluorescent trainers, came into, like I did, work with them, and everyone gone, oh, I fucking hate them, and never wore them.
Yeah.
Difference is, I'm like, yeah, I fucking like them. I think we need to wrap up though, because we've gone way too deep and way too long.
We are, we're at 46 minutes. I hope the people that have stayed with us did actually enjoy this. I
think that's the deepest we've ever been about something.
We've turned a leaf here. We might have found a new direction. I don't know. We need to find out from our,
one listener.
Well, it was 7 listeners to start with at the start of this podcast. We're now down to 2, possibly 1 listener. So, whoever is still listening now, let us know what you think about our comments upon society and culture and gangster rap.
In it, bruv.
Yes. So, thank you very much for listening.
Just one more thing, just to end on. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Rest in peace, Muhammad Ali. Oh.
Yes, rest in peace.
Cassius Clay. You did a really good Muhammad Ali joke the other day to me.
What? I can't remember.
Muhammad Ali was on TV and it was about the death, and he was there and he went, oh, I wonder what Cassius Clay thinks about it.
I do.
And it just made me chuckle because it's not many people would know that Cassius Clay is Muhammad Ali, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, but I think if you're going to take anything from this, just remember me and my underpants.
Yeah.
Liam getting freaked out about that, and what would Cassius Clay think?
Yeah, what would Cassius Clay think?